So let's talk a little bit now about, obviously you work with a lot of companies and a lot of different industries. What are some of the benefits that real-time freight visibility, provides to, shippers, carriers, brokers, and to your last point there, I mean, conversely, I mean, what is the cost of not having it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no question. I mean, the value really, again, there's three components we always look at when we work with customers, again, across all industries, is how does it increase your revenue? How does it reduce your cost or create some sort of strategic advantage for you to have real-time visibility? Now, over the past 7 years, there has been a wave of strategic advantage in selling and winning RFPs by offering real-time visibility as a service component, right? It's not just deliver the goods on time, it's deliver them and deliver them in a certain window, deliver them at a certain time, provide visibility, provide support. So it's a whole package. So in terms of the strategic advantage component, again, it has turned from over the past 7 years from a strategic advantage to now table stakes. So we've seen a tremendous amount of movement on that component. On the reducing cost side of things, absolutely. Again, you take one segment, let's just take freight brokers for one particular segment of it, or a shipper that's dealing with a receiver that's demanding visibility. The cost of not having real-time visibility or having poor quality is really customer sat, right? I mean, what's the cost of providing your customer with inaccurate or misleading information about where freight is? It's a lot more expensive than just a penalty for one bad shipment, right? When the receiver starts seeing that you don't have control over the freight from a management perspective, meaning you don't know where the freight is, you don't know when it's going to be on time, you start losing reputation, you start losing customer sat scores, you start losing those types of things. So the cost of bad information, the cost of misinformation, quality, as we talked about, is very expensive compared to maybe just a fine that you might get. So it's an order of magnitude higher in terms of cost. So those are a couple of the components that we look at when we work with customers, whether they're, again, a receiver, a shipper, a freight broker, what have you. How does it help you win more business? We go through those types of analysis, and then we talk about the two things that we just talked about in terms of there's a very hard ROI on customer service, and there's also a very hard, cost on having some type of strategic advantage. And by the way, if you are currently in the business of providing visibility, but you do it in a manual way, then there's also a very hard, CFO level analysis from a hard dollars perspective of getting the manual side out of the business and putting in automated technology at a fraction of the cost of what it's currently doing. We've had studies that have showed if you're doing it manually in terms of providing visibility to your customer, it could be anywhere from $8 to $10 per shipment to do that. Again, obviously automated technology is going to be a fraction of that. So those are some of the things that we look at.
Yeah, no, great point. Like you said, we were talking about earlier, you're kind of replacing that person on having to make, various phone calls. I mean, that's not cheap at all to have, a lot of labor, answering that very basic question in terms of where's my shipment. And I think to the point we talked about at the beginning, the importance of, the customers are demanding that information, that data, right, to be able to do the analysis and be able to, bring in, business intelligence to their operations. What I hear from a lot of shippers, in particular from 3PLs, because a lot of 3PLs are asking this from the shippers, they're saying, you know what, for our customers, the shippers, the movement of freight is it's just table stakes today, is being able to provide the information as well, quality, on time, complete, and so forth, to help them with their analysis. That is, it could be the difference, to your point, between us getting the business or maintaining the business and us not. So I think that there's certainly the value of information today is certainly, you can put a lot of dollar figures behind that.